Hello, horizontal lovers. I'm here in an empty restaurant at an empty hotel, about to have my lunch. Fortunate that I can do that. And I'm thinking about fear. I'm thinking about. I come from anxious stock. And I think part of the reason is because when my grandmother was pregnant with my mother, and I was already in existence as a little seedling, my grandmother lost her 2-year-old son to tuberculosis. And what happened was she had a nanny taking care of her child, and the nanny brought the child to a house that had tuberculosis. And Silvino, who would have been my uncle, died. My mother, while she was being formed as a human being, was inside the womb of a woman who was grieving deeply, and I believe was also very anxious. And my mom has been formed with anxiety, and she's had many complications because of it, or that exacerbate it, or that are because of it. I think it's a chicken or the egg kind of question. It's a yes and, it's a both and. It's environmental, it's physical, it's emotional, it's hereditary, it's genetic, I think it's all of it. So I inherited some anxiety, but I live in a safer world than my grandmother did. I also live in less grief currently than she was in, thankfully, and less hardship than my mother has lived in and survived. And one of the things that I do to try and combat my own anxiety, which I think I have almost positioned my whole life to combat my anxiety, having had the privilege to do so, became a yoga teacher, practiced yoga since I was 15, developed these physical practices, meditation, sharing with friends, community, all these things that help to assuage my anxiety. Yeah, I think I've developed almost my whole life around easing anxiety. And I've done a fairly good job. I'm really proud of myself for the human that I've developed into, carrying the history that I carry, carrying the Jewish DNA, carrying the trauma of especially my female ancestors, but really all of my ancestors who emigrated and left their countries. All of this that I carry, I think I'm doing pretty well. So one of the things that I do to combat my own anxiety is I try to ask myself in a moment of quiet, what is actually happening? I feel all the fear and all the potential. I have a mind that will triage everything. When I step into a scenario, I'm already thinking what I will do if the worst case scenario happens, and then I can relax. And that's simply how my brain functions. I've chosen to allow that to be. And then I decide on that course of action, and then I return to presence to the best of my ability. And this is one of the things that returns me to presence, is to ask, what is actually happening right now? Maybe what's actually happening is tragedy, and you are with a loved one who is ill, gravely ill, and then you feel into that and you You ride those waves and you let them break you open in the service of loving more and expressing more and being more gentle and loving with the universe and its inhabitants. It's likely, though, that many of us are not experiencing that right now. It's likely that many of us are in our apartments or in our homes, fearing for our livelihoods, fearing for how we will pay our rent, fearing for physical safety, and fearing contact with other people, fearing that they will make us ill. But many of us are not ill now. So if I ask myself what is actually happening, I tap into my health in this moment, my gratitude to be healthy, and my gratitude to be alive, my gratitude for the interconnected web of friends that I have, loved ones, former lovers, family, my gratitude for the fact that this medium, that this technology is magic. And this magic means that I can communicate with you across the world. Hundreds of years ago, even 100, right? I don't know, not so long ago, we did not have that capacity. We were further removed, yes, from news, and maybe that people might think that's better, but we were further removed from connecting with our beloveds. And now I can turn on my phone, tap into Wi-Fi, and talk with all of the people that I love the most in the world. I'm really grateful for that. Right now I'm here in Bali, and I have a tiny bit of savings, so I hope to be all right. Right now I am all right. In this very, very moment, I am very well and about to eat. I'm grateful for the food. I am temperate and I feel good. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. The food is coming. And I hope there's something here for you. This is I skipped a few days. So this is day, 23 of my 28-day video challenge. And as I tap into our disconnection and this social distancing, how we have to, many of us, to be responsible, must distance ourselves 6 feet from people around us, and how much we still need connection. The next live video show is going to be a mini connection workshop. So we'll play some of the games, some of my favorite games that I play in my Art of Trust workshop. So that will be 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday night. I love you. I hope there's something here for you.